Welcome back to Embrace Your Mind, where we dive deep into the world of fascinating topics. Today, we're exploring one of the most talked about foods, red meat. Whether you love it or avoid it, red meat has been a part of human diets for centuries. In this video, we'll uncover some surprising facts about red meat that you may not have known before. Let's get started. Red meat is not just a source of protein, but it also provides several vital nutrients like iron, zinc, and vitamin B12, which are essential for our overall health. Historically, humans began eating red meat over 2 million years ago, and it's believed that the consumption of meat played a role in the development of our large brains. Cows, pigs, and sheep are some of the most common animals raised for red meat consumption. However, in some parts of the world, animals like bison and even kangaroos are eaten. Beef is the most commonly consumed red meat in the world, followed by pork, and lamb comes in third. The term red meat refers to meat from mammals, including beef, pork, lamb, and venison. This is due to the higher levels of myoglobin, a protein that stores oxygen in muscle tissue, giving it a red color. Red meat is a rich source of heme iron, the type of iron that is most easily absorbed by our bodies. This helps prevent iron deficiency anemia. Consuming red meat in moderation can promote muscle growth and repair due to its high protein content, which is especially beneficial for athletes and bodybuilders. Beef contains more saturated fat than pork or lamb, and the way it's cooked can influence how much fat it retains. Grilling and broiling tend to reduce fat content compared to frying. The USDA categorizes red meat into two types: fresh and processed. Processed meats like sausages and hot dogs are often higher in sodium and preservatives, which can have negative health effects if consumed in excess. Interestingly, the average American consumes over 50 pounds of beef annually, which is significantly less than other countries, like Argentina, where beef is a dietary staple. In some cultures, red meat has symbolic meanings. For example, in Jewish tradition, beef is often considered the most holy of meats. Lamb, a type of red meat, is a key food in the Mediterranean diet, which is known for its potential to reduce the risk of heart disease and promote longevity. Grass-fed beef is often considered healthier than grain-fed beef because it contains more omega-3 fatty acids, which are beneficial for heart health. Red meat, particularly beef, is one of the most resource-intensive foods to produce. It requires large amounts of land, water, and energy compared to plant-based foods. Cooking red meat at high temperatures, such as grilling or frying, can produce compounds like heterocyclic amines, HCAs, which have been linked to an increased risk of cancer. However, marinating meat before cooking can reduce the formation of these harmful substances. Red meat is also a source of conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, a fatty acid that has been shown to have anti-inflammatory properties and may help reduce body fat. Over the years, red meat has gotten a bad reputation due to studies linking its excessive consumption with an increased risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and cancer. However, when eaten in moderation and as part of a balanced diet, red meat can be beneficial. In the 19th century, the rise of refrigeration allowed for the mass production and distribution of red meat, making it more accessible to people across the world. Red meat can be classified as either wet-aged or dry-aged, with dry-aged meat having a more intense flavor and a slightly firmer texture due to the aging process. In some regions, red meat consumption is limited during certain religious observances. For example, many Christians avoid eating red meat on Fridays during Lent. In ancient times, the hunting of large animals for red meat was a crucial part of survival. Early humans relied on their ability to hunt big game like mammoths for sustenance. One of the oldest records of red meat consumption comes from the Paleolithic era, where cave paintings depict early humans hunting and eating various animals for their meat. Many chefs prefer grass-fed red meat for its unique flavor, which is often described as being more robust and earthy compared to grain-fed meat. In the Middle Ages, red meat was considered a symbol of wealth and nobility. The rich often consumed large amounts of meat, while peasants ate mainly vegetables and grains. Red meat is high in protein, but it's also a good source of creatine, which can enhance muscle function and improve physical performance. Some studies suggest that the consumption of red meat could have a positive effect on brain health, particularly in older adults, due to its high levels of nutrients like vitamin B12 and zinc. Cattle farming, however, has been associated with significant environmental impacts, including deforestation, methane emissions, and water usage, leading to calls for more sustainable meat production practices. Despite the environmental concerns, the global demand for red meat continues to rise, particularly in countries like China and India, where rising middle-class populations have increased meat consumption. If you enjoy the taste of steak, you might be surprised to learn that the ideal cut for tenderness is often a well-marbled steak, which contains small streaks of fat that make the meat juicier and more flavorful. The global meat industry is constantly innovating with lab-grown meats, and some companies are developing ways to produce red meat without the need for raising and slaughtering animals, potentially reducing the environmental impact of traditional meat production. That's it for today's video on interesting facts about red meat. If you enjoyed learning more about this fascinating food, make sure to give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking content. And remember, whatever you put on your plate, embrace your mind and make informed choices. Thanks for watching.